Welcome back, everybody. YINZBOYZ podcast, and forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned. Gonna toss one of these in.
Yeah, he's going rogue for sure.
That's better. I should start saying that.
All right, well, you're welcome. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Just like the YINZBOYZ, I made the name up.
No, you didn't. But Neil and Ken, your hosts, 412-613-1116.
YINZBOYZ.com. We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
The real YINZBOYZ@gmail.com. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube. I think that's really all the plugs.
Yeah. Today's special occasion that we're actually doing a release right away and skipping a bank. So yeah. I'll preface everybody that too, because we released one today and then we might get some confusing information back and forth, but we're skipping because of this cause and immediately to publish. We have a special guest. His name is Sean. He is with our
boy Sean. He's
get my stuff pulled up.
He's doing an event. I want him to, explain it, but it's called Ruck and Rescue.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. Sean from Ruck and Rescue. And we're going to call him in shortly and let him kind of take the wheel. And you know how our episodes go with guests, so it's kind of the same format. So we are going to give him a ring here, and we will let him go. Let's not do that.
Well, let me get it adjusted.
I put some oil on that thing.
You really need
that thing is dry. Let me know when you're fucking done.
This thing's fucked. just call. Just
stop it. Calling while you're making all that stuff.
I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
No, fix it. Now you've already did it. Just fix it.
All right, that's fine. Just leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
Are you sure?
Please call Sean.
Holy shit. All right, here we go.
I can't believe you, dude. Can't even work the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Sean, Neil, and Ken with the YINZBOYZ podcast. How are you?
Hey, man. How's it going? Hanging in there.
Good, man. Glad to hear it. So I was briefed a little bit. I know that you know Neil and not myself in person, actually, here. You've met in person before. And he's told me about your cause and whatnot. I'm super excited to hear you talk a little bit more about it. But without further ado, if you don't mind, can you let people know what you're about, what your cause is, and what you have coming up here?
Yeah. So I don't know exactly where to start, but I'll start with just the Ruck and Rescue and what that's all about. So my name's Sean. Back in February this year, I did a 3-day fast with two of my buddies. And day 2 of that fast, I was doing like a small workout, and I had like this overwhelming vision of me. And I felt in that moment like God put on my heart that I needed to do something in order to raise money for some charity. And in that moment, I didn't know exactly what that was. All I knew that it was going to be very difficult. I knew I was going to suffer greatly. And honestly, it terrified me. And it was just like one of those things, if you've ever experienced before, whenever God calls you to do something, like you can't just ignore it, like it. Mm-hmm. He's very persistent, and then it took a couple of weeks before I even wanted to say it out loud. And me and the two buddies that we fasted together, we kind of got together one night. We're talking about like kind of what we gathered from it, and I finally was like, "Look, brothers, I got to tell you, like this is what God put on my heart, and I'm terrified. I get goosebumps even like telling the story because it was like such like a pivotal moment because it was like." I was reluctant to be obedient to God, and that's something like I've been working on too. And so I got kind of just like let my guard down and entered into it, and I was like, I'm going to do it, and now it's real. And so from that conversation, we were like talking about what the charity is going to be, and the topic of human trafficking got brought up, and I instantly knew who I needed to talk to. And so me and Neil kind of know each other through a group of guys that train together. And that's how I got in contact with Lantern Rescue. And so made some phone calls, got on the phone with them and said, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to do 100 miles with 100 pounds, and I'm going to ruck the whole thing. And I want to raise money for operations. And so that's something that's really, really important right now because they are a nonprofit. They don't really receive a whole lot of like federal funding, from what I understand, especially now. Like a lot has changed.
I was going to say, I'm
So
sure their budget has been cut for sure. Like,
absolutely, yeah. So I don't know all the ins and outs as far as like NGO status goes, but yeah, they're like they basically it's grassroots fundraising or nothing, you know. So it was kind of all the pieces started falling in place, you know, and so. Fast forward to April 28th of this year, I like publicly announced, hey, I'm doing Ruck and Rescue. I started training for it. I got in contact with a guy on Instagram, and he built me a 12-week program to get prepared, and just started putting some miles in on the trail. Started getting sponsors. And, you know, this is my first like charity fundraiser event that I've ever organized myself. So I was very adamant that I did not want to take any of the donations, and I funded pretty much everything on my own as far as supplies needed, you know, promo campaign stuff like patches and banners and flyers and all that. Some people have donated some gear. I've got some realtors that are helping out, like just little things here and there. But, you know, it not to like, you know, beat my chest or anything, but like I am funding all of it. It's because I morally did not feel comfortable taking money out of the donations, you know, because that's really a really popular thing for charity to do is like, hey, like we need to pay all our staff. So like, you know, like a small percentage actually goes towards the cause. And so I wanted people to feel very comfortable, like, hey, like 100% of the donations that you turn in go directly to fighting human trafficking.
Dude, see, that's like,
so that was something that was very, very important. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's one thing about charities is like, you really have to look into how much money is actually donated to the cause. Cause to your point, a lot of those salaries are pretty,
nonprofit doesn't necessarily mean
somebody
if you will.
might be profiting, but
yeah.
But no, that's like the transparency is like, it's very welcome, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually talked to someone previous to this endeavor about nonprofits, and the advice I got was nonprofits are very profitable. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
This is why people don't want to donate to stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's true.
And so I remember, I remember feeling like really turned off by the whole thing. But Lantern Rescue, like they're an awesome group of people. I'm still building that relationship with them. This is like my first kind of anything involved with them directly. But, you know, through friends of friends, I felt very comfortable approaching them and doing what they do. And just like I can talk a little bit about Lantern and what their mission is and what their purpose is. And they're different than any other organization that I've talked to before in the sense that their whole model is to train law enforcement agencies to be self-sufficient in identifying trafficking and also combating it. And so they don't have a huge team of operators that go out and kick in doors and rescue kids, which they do have some people that do that, but their overall objective is to say, hey, there is a big problem in this area, and they're international. They're global.
It's a huge, it's a billion-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business. It's terrible to say.
Yeah, exactly. But Lantern themselves, they operate in 11 different countries, and so they have been training law enforcement agencies in those areas that they targeted as like a hot spot for trafficking, and they train them how to take care of themselves, essentially. So like they don't have to rely on some NGO or American-based company to show up and do the work for them. So I really respected that, and I really appreciated like how like they approach these things. And it seems like it's very effective in the way they're approaching it. And so some quick stats of Lantern Rescue. They have facilitated over 2,000 rescues. That's 2,000 kids that they've pulled out of trafficking.
Really? That's amazing.
And they've also facilitated, they've been operational since 2018, 2019. Don't quote me on that. I have to go back and check. But that's over like 5 or 6 years. That's not a whole long time.
Still, though, that's a staggering amount that people. That means that the people that were rescued, and think about the people that weren't rescued in that amount of time.
I did want to talk about like the statistics of like how big the problem actually is, like the root problem. It's like
yeah. So I have a couple of numbers pulled up for you. So before I move on to that, Lanterns also, they have helped facilitate over 1,100 arrests. So 1,100 traffickers. It's almost like for every 2 victims there's one trafficker that they've arrested. Yeah. And another really key part to mention here is that they also help kids find aftercare. So they work with other agencies and organizations that take the kids and like provide therapy, or foster parents if they don't have their parents anymore, or connect them back to their parents that they lost. So they're kind of like a one-stop shop for counter trafficking. Like they filled in like all the gaps. The aftercare is a huge key part that a lot of people kind of overlook.
Oh, sure.
Dude, imagine the PTSD. It's fucked up.
There truly is. Yeah. So just some quick numbers. And these are all estimates, right? And I guess it depends on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. But the estimated total number globally is 50 million children. Not just children. I say children, child trafficking more often, but it's human. It truly is human trafficking.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, so it's an estimated 50 million total, and that includes forced marriage, which is accepted in some cultures, but like that's still counted as like trafficking, right?
I mean,
and then that's probably a topic for another conversation. So, and then CSAM, which is child sex abuse material, which is it's previously people called it child porn, right? But that word insinuates consent. Correct?
Yeah.
So fucked up. Child cannot consent, therefore it is abuse material. So they could CSAM for short, child sexual abuse material. And so those numbers are kind of factored into the estimate. But in my opinion, is truly like these numbers. They're just a number. It's a fill in the blank number. I think it's far worse than what we can imagine. Yes. And there's some wild conspiracies out there that like there's briefly like breeding farms essentially. And so like I don't know how much of that is provable, but it's I think undocumented people though, like we have actually truly no idea how bad it really is.
No, you can't have an accurate statistic, but it's a massive, even if it's 1/10 of the numbers we just quoted, that's still that's a huge problem, like regardless.
Right. Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely. So, so like I'm kind of cautious to like give out a bunch of like numbers, stats, because like it's unfathomable, and there is some places that are considered like what's the word, drawing a blank on how to describe it, but there's a website called humantraffickinghotline.org, and like their stats are supposedly like more accurate and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm very suspicious of like any like federally ran organization.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I will say is, so I travel a little bit for work, and in all the airports and all the bathrooms, it's like, if you're being trafficked, or if you see or suspect something, like I will say I feel like there's more awareness today a little bit than there has been in the past, about the topic, but it's still.
Yeah. So I guess to segue into everyone's favorite conversation right now is the Epstein Island stuff, right? I think that are we cool to talk about that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I did absolutely want to bring that. Well, because that's like tying it to modern times. Like I don't want to date the material, but it is a huge thing. But yeah, we have to talk about it. Like it's
the elephant that's been in the room for how many years?
6 years.
Yeah. So this kind of ties into my exposure into this darkness, right? And my awakening process began back in 2019. Like, my worldview was so tiny back then. Like, all I knew was work and my family, and like my bubble was very small, you know. And then a good friend of mine was like, "Hey, check this out," and I was like, "Whoa!" Like, red pills, like, just every day I was going down all these rabbit holes, and one of them was the trafficking stuff, and it was like so dark and twisted that it really jacked me up for a while. I mean, lost sleep. I'm up all night researching stuff, and then like the whole Epstein thing came out, and it's like,
shit's real.
Like,
validation.
It made it very tangible and real, and it's all over every broadcast. Everyone was now aware of it, and like, you can't, at this point, like, you can't say like you don't know, you know. And to what degree people understand how bad it is different, but in general, I think a large majority of people are like, yeah, trafficking is very real. And so some people take it more serious than others. Like, we're very particular about, you know, our kids, my wife and I, and like how when we go out in public, like, we're very aware. We're not on our phones. Like, we're like watching out for people, especially like in different populated areas that we go to. Like, you can, if you ever see me out in public, like, I'm carrying a gun. So like, that is my God-given right as an American citizen. So like, I'm always packing everywhere I go.
Everybody
like,
should.
We're very, yeah, absolutely. We're very in tune with what's going on around us, and like how like everyone kind of assumes like trafficking is like snatch and grabs, people getting kidnapped, but like that's a smaller percentage, truthfully.
Yeah,
it does happen though, and that to me is terrifying. But it does happen. I don't want to discredit it, because I mean, that shit. The white van that pulls up and they have two people, one guy on the street that kind of distracts or trips someone. You know, but I mean, you're right. It's probably not as frequent, but to me, that's like the most terrifying. I guess, unless you're about to tell me something even worse.
Well, I mean, you could get into that. I feel like. Well, I don't know. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like grooming is a big portion of what's happening.
Absolutely.
And like coercion, whether that be through drugs, alcohol, whatever.
I think Neil's grooming my daughter now that we're talking about it.
No, your daughter just loves me, and like, you got to just let her, you know, put a bow in your hair. Yeah. And, you know, you're just gonna sit there and just take it.
I don't want to derail you, Sean, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. So the people that do think the small majority though is the snatch and grab. What's the bigger problem?
It's typically someone that you know, and the unfortunate part is that like I don't know the direct percentage, but a large portion of it is biological fathers or like close family members that groom the child, and the child has no perception of like,
oh no,
you have like a general understanding of right and wrong, right? But like, kids are very malleable, and like, you can kind of convince them a lot of different stuff when they're very little. So like, these are grown adults who prey on children, and this also ties into like the whole like gay pride movement and stuff too. Like, you have adults who are preying on children's innocence, and there is a direct correlation to human trafficking and the gay pride stuff. Like, there really is. I've talked to you mentioned Charlie on the podcast before, so like Charlie, me and him talked about some of these things too, and like, that is a very real thing. And I'm kind of like jumping all over the place, but these are just different things I'm involved in. And so I am on the school board for our school district.
Good.
And that was like one of the very first things I tackled was, let's audit the library. I want to see what's in the library, and we're going to read these books in the community.
Ooh, I like this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a great idea. Bro, you have no idea the amount of people who came out of the woodwork to call me every name you can possibly imagine. I'm a terrible person. Just let kids explore their sexuality, this and that. I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. You're a teacher in the school district.
Not at school.
And now you're on my top of my list of people that are suspicious.
I need to.
Yeah, thanks for outing yourself.
Let's put a pin in that one. Let's recirculate, you know, your background. That's like,
sorry, man. Just like, I get fired up about this stuff.
No,
well,
as you should.
Well, bro, I've always been like, bro, anything at school or in public, like, bro, kids should not be exposed to that shit at all. I think even sex education, like, honestly, the easiest way to do it should be the parents.
Yeah, it's to me.
I hate to say it, but like,
that's the only one I'm fenced about, because they may not get a good education at home either.
No,
so but still, you should think that your parents should be the one that should say, hey, this is what I allow you to be exposed to, or this level, or this level of knowledge at this age?
You need to learn biological things in school. Like, yes, absolutely. But like, I don't know, man. Some of that stuff that they teach you is like, I don't even know what the like, I don't know.
Yeah.
These days.
We'll circle back, but like just to put a pin in that also, like that was my whole point was parents should have the right to.
They have to get involved.
They have the right to say what their kids are allowed to like not be exposed to, and like that was like my whole point with the whole school district, and like the state disagrees with that. So
that's amazing.
But I guess to kind of so you want to circle back to my background and everything. I guess just like me in general, who I am, I'm just like a normal dude, you know. I work full time. I work in manufacturing. I've been a machinist for almost 13 years now.
Very based.
And
I have a task for you.
Oh yeah, I know you're into planes and stuff. Man.
Yeah, I'll talk to you. You know, after the show. Yeah, I got a couple of things I'm interested in.
Awesome, cool, man. So yeah, that's what I do for career wise. Is blue collar dude. We have a small farm up here in kind of rural Appalachia in Pennsylvania.
Cool.
We got goats, chickens, ducks. You know. Just doing like the homestead thing, and we breed rabbits as well. We have like 50 rabbits right now.
For you, for meat, dude. That's the isn't that like the most efficient form of like meat to grow? Is rabbit?
Yes.
Can I pause you and I guess ask a question on rabbit, because I don't do a ton of hunting. I usually do just deer, you know, and even then
in the yard,
yeah, and even then it's I don't go out I'm not an avid hunter, put it that way. But rabbit, from what I understand, they're kind of seasonal for wild hunting because they could be like worm ridden. Is that true? Is there some sort of disease or something they get at a certain season?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I think pretty much any critter can get into something.
Oh, sure.
Get a
not that you would.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I was going to say, when you're farming like them yourselves, like no.
Well, nothing's going to happen there, but yeah, I guess it was more a question.
I mean, it could.
Yeah. It's more so like how you take care of them. And I can get into like homesteading and stuff some other time, but yeah, it's more so like how clean you keep them, what you feed them, their water source, stuff like that. Like I basically try to keep them in nature as much as possible, but also like they're cold weather hardy. So like we're still kind of like 2 years into like breeding rabbits, but we're also populating our property with black rabbits too.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we actually just like so we impregnate them, and like they burrow. They'll dig like a 4-foot hole and like burrow way down in the ground and stay warm and cool depending on the season, and then just have their babies and just repopulate themselves. So we're actually doing that too, just to have like rabbits everywhere. But you know, that brings in coyotes and foxes too. Which, I enjoy predator control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
so that's kind of like me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to some questions that I have too then. So you're doing a 100-pound, 100-mile ruck. Now, there's people out there that don't know what that means. Are you
how fucking crazy?
Yeah, are you a former or current military?
So I was in the Marine Corps Reserves, like 2012 era. I don't really talk about my military career a lot because I didn't do anything super special, you know, and it just kind of feels like stolen valor almost. Like whenever someone's like, yeah, I'm a Marine, like everyone's like, oh, bro is like stacking bodies in Afghan, you know, but I was in the Air Wing. Yeah, I was aviation supply. So, I mean, I was in the reserves, you know, and if I could go back, I would make decisions, but ultimately it worked out the way it did, and started having kids, and then got out. And you know, I always had like that background as far as like, you know, mental toughness and everything goes. And I learned a lot and made a lot of really awesome friends back then. But I don't have any cool war stories. You know, I basically survived boot camp.
Every person has their role. That's the whole point of the military, is to be a well-oiled machine, even though it usually sometimes isn't, I should say. Maybe I'm
suck a lot of tax dollars down.
But either way, there's a reason why, you know, there's jobs for everyone. But the reason why I brought that up was there's plenty of people out there that don't know what rucking means, and if they do, how hard that is. What you plan on doing.
The task at hand, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how I can put a perspective to people who are unfamiliar with it, but rucking in essence is walking with weight. It's like taking a hike, but hey, I'm going to carry some extra. So like in the military, when you're going on a patrol, you're going to go, you know, if you're infantry guys, you're going to go take over this town. Like you're carrying everything you need on your back.
Sustainment
exactly. So like I actually have a USMC, like government issued main pack. So like that's my rucking pack. That's what I trained with. It's what I'm familiar with. It's what's really comfortable for me. I've tried some other ones, but I just kind of stick with this one. So anyone can buy them. Like it's military surplus stuff at this point. They might have new gear now, but anyway. So I have a plate carrier. So I have my weight distributed across a plate carrier and also a main pack. So essentially, my pack is roughly 80 pounds. My plate carrier and chest rig and everything it's about 20 pounds. And that's dry weight. So whenever you're rucking,
sweating,
How much do you weigh?
Weight, so like you don't factor in water. I weigh 200 pounds.
Okay,
and that's how I came to this
half your body weight.
Yeah. So I didn't know how much I wanted to do at the very beginning of all this. I mentioned like the whole vision and everything I had, and I was like, well, I don't want to ruck 200 pounds. That might actually kill me. So let's cut it in half and do it for 100 miles. And so that's how I landed on this number, was my body weight divided by 2, essentially. So it's 50% of my mass. I'm like 195 right now, but just round it up a little bit. So, but dry weight means no water. So I'm going to carry about a half gallon or so of water, and 1 gallon of water weighs 8 pounds.
Sure.
So
you're going to drink it and piss it out.
Is going to
sweat it out,
and that too.
Exactly. I'm going to be dripping sweat. Yeah. It's middle summer, so but I'm also from Texas, so I'm kind of built for the heat, you know. But,
sure.
Anyway, essentially I'm going to be carrying like 104 pounds, 105 pounds with my water, and my support team is going to meet me at various points. Like a half gallon of water will last me for 15 miles based on my training. And so that way I'm not carrying much of extra weight. And so I'm actually I'm going to finish at like 102 miles. I kind of overshot it a little bit, especially when you're dealing with donations and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to be like, oh, he's, not actually doing it.
Yeah,
so
like 98 miles. That's bullshit.
You thought of every angle here. This is very well thought out.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've learned a lot from other endurance athletes, and I was started to apply for a Guinness World Record for this event, and I just didn't do it in time because of the application process. So this is a world record, but that doesn't mean no one's ever done it before. They just never actually applied for the record.
Yeah,
so,
recorded it.
There's like almost no world record for rucking. So it's like an untapped world record market interested. So. Anyway, again, I'm bouncing around, but your original question was like, what is rucking? So like, that's essentially what it is. I'm carrying 100 pounds on my back, and I'm going uphill. It's a steady incline. So I'm going to have approximately 3,000 foot elevation gain, which is not a lot, but a large portion of that is on the last day. And so I kind of did that on purpose because, and especially the military aspect, when people think about rucking, they're like, you're doing hills, it's not just flat. And I chose the Delaware Lehigh Trail, the D&L Trail, and it's a very well maintained, established trail with lots of checkpoints for like support team to come meet me and stuff. And it's a little bit more maintained than like the Appalachian Trail, and that's why I chose that one. I wanted the focus to be like getting donations. It wasn't. Yes, it is a physical feat as well, but the whole purpose is just to like get help for the kids, and having access to me from my support team was also very critical for the endeavor. I'm going to be doing about 33 miles a day. This is a 3-day event.
I was going to say,
that's what everyone's second question is like, how long are you going to do this for? And I was like, oh, Dad, this is a 3-day event because I got to go to work on Monday.
You're going to be sore as fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's kind of, I'm a busy guy, I got to take care of the family. So I took Thursday and Friday off next week. Then Friday morning at 5 a.m., we're hoofing it. We're going to take off. We're going to camp out on the trail, and Friday morning, it's about a 16-hour day. So based on my training, I average about 23, 24-minute miles, and I do that on purpose for like longevity. I can go faster, but I'm gonna be smoked,
Burnout.
after 10 miles. Yeah, this is a marathon; it's not a sprint, right? So about 23-minute miles, and like every 2 to 3 miles, I have to stop and take my pack off just to like let my spine decompress.
Stretch,
Yeah, and then at the 15, 16-mile mark every day, I'm going to have like an hour and a half break. There's like different trailheads that have like restrooms and stuff, and kids can go like swim in the river and everything. And the kids are going to be with me too. My wife's dragging the kids around the whole time.
That's awesome.
So I have two wingmen. They're going to kind of like leapfrog on the trail. And so that's kind of like the goal. It's like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I have a hotel one night, and then the second night we're actually close enough to my house. We're just going to crash at the house. Cool. Unfortunately, there's no camping on this trail because DCNR doesn't allow it because apparently someone died, ruined it for everybody. So
wow,
classic.
You'll have that.
Yeah.
One person shits their pants, everyone else wears diapers.
Yeah. So apparently someone, like a tree fell on somebody when they were sleeping. And
ooh, that's nice.
You got to always scout for widowmakers when you're making camp. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
That's camp 101.
Exactly. It's poor bush skills, but
literally.
Anyways, that was my original plan. Was like, I'm just going to stick on the trail, and I called some park rangers. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing for a charity, and they're like,
they still wouldn't let you.
That's not going to work.
What the fuck?
Do what?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably kid diddlers.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well,
I got jammed up by one today at the range. I was
a kid diddler?
No, a DCNR. Yeah.
Holy shit! So hey, look, I got to ask, what's in the pack? Right? I mean, you have your plate carrier, which is 20 pounds of the weight. So what do you have in there?
So a quick shakedown. I have. So my old body armor, I have like AR 500 plates. They're like 10 pounds a piece. And so I put those.
They're heavy bitches.
Whenever you're packing a ruck, you want like the most dense, like the most heavy part, like as close to your back as possible. So at the very, very bottom, I have like a thick wool, like milsurp blanket, and like that takes up a lot of space. It kind of lifts up all the heavy stuff. I have like a 3-piece sleeping system. It's all my stuff is milsurp pretty much. And then I have like compartment bags, like torture bags basically. And I have, ways to make fire. I have utility tools. I have headlamps, backups, and like I have everything kind of compartmentalized in different bags, just like for like actual camping purposes. Like that's how I would do it. And it takes up space, fills the bag, and it's it's heavy. And so I have like a woolly blanket to kind of like fill in the gap around the outside. And then I have my wet weather like poncho and Gore-Tex pants and stuff, extra pair of boots. I have like dry bag for like change of clothes, stuff like that. And like the very, very top, I have like another little toiletry bag that has like, butt wipes, all that good stuff,
hell yeah,
stuff to prevent chafing.
Vaseline.
Yeah. You don't want to get chafed up, day one, because that's going to make for a bad time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. So like I did a shakedown video on my Instagram. It kind of shows people how I pack my ruck.
Cool.
And go ahead.
No, I said cool. Sorry.
No, I watched it.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So and then like my kit, my plate carrier itself, I had like level 4 ceramics. They're like 7 pounds a piece. And then like I had like kangaroo pouch and stuff for snacks and other gadgets and whatnot. And then that's kind of like a general idea of like how I space things out. But like I went through like several iterations before I really what works for me. And like that's like the importance of training, right? Is getting miles in and figuring out like how to adjust your kit, how to adjust your straps, and like there's a lot of like kind of science that goes into it,
It's nuance.
And,
you gotta trial and error everything, like
exactly. And so basically you're just like building up the endurance and the strength to like actually feel confident to do it. And I just tell myself all the time, I'm just grateful that like my body is in like fighting shape. I'm almost 33, and I feel like I'm like not probably peak performance, but like I'm still like I feel like I'm in pretty good shape
Yes.
for my age. So, man. So that's kind of like a general idea.
Well, speaking of, what's your training regimen like? 'Cause I see your posts and stuff of you training in the gym and stuff. So like, what's your training regimen been over the past, what was it, 7 or 8 weeks?
So I did for a 12-week program. This guy's named David Green. He's on Instagram. It's like his group is called Tier 1 Performance, I believe. I'll give him a plug. Anyway, so I contacted him because I saw a post out of the blue one day, and he was like, "Hey, you trying to get better at rucking?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yes.
So I DM'd him and I told him what I was doing, and he was like super ecstatic. And so his method was really awesome. I'm really glad I linked up with him because he kind of started with foundational stuff, which I was neglecting just because I'm like a gym bro. I've been powerlifting for a while, and so all I was doing was like squat, bench, deadlift, and like accessory work. And so like he kind of like really took me back to like foundational stuff, that was really working on all your stabilizer muscles, and he kind of took me back to the beginning, and so I started there and did like some hypertrophy, kind of build up like mass a little bit, and then the last block of what I was doing was just kind of like strength conditioning, and then I'm also cycling in rucking on the weekends. So like, my work schedule during the week is brutal. Like I might have an hour to work out, and I'll just like slam a workout in real quick right before I go to work, and then on the weekends, like on Saturdays, is usually where I'm on the trail for 7-8 hours, just for conditioning. So as far as like very specific workouts, I'd have to pull up my program, which I could. If someone's interested in like details, more than willing to help someone out. If anyone wants to get into rucking, I'd love to give them some pointers, like give them some resources. But yeah, that's kind of like a general overview of that.
That's awesome. So here's what I've been thinking about here. This whole conversation is that I don't know how it couldn't be a success, but what if it's a huge success? This novel thing that you came up with here. What's the plans for the future? What are you going to do with this idea? Are you going to take it, run with it, and do something bigger, or is it just kind of like a one-time calling, if you will?
Yeah, so I thought a lot about this actually. It's like a twofold question, but for Ruck and Rescue, if anyone hasn't picked it up yet, Ruck and Rescue is the name of the event. That's just what I named it. And the media manager from Lantern Rescue, she was like, "Hey, like, what do you think about making this an annual thing?" And I was like, "Whoa, never thought about that." And so we've been like tossing around the idea of making this a race next year, and there's a lot that goes into that. So that's like a huge maybe right now. But
plus a lot of liability too. You got to make sure to do it right.
Exactly. Yeah. The liability part for one thing, but also like, anyways, I don't want to get stuck up on that. We are considering making this a race next year. And if anyone wants to compete, like we could actually be competing for record. So like that's huge, like for promotion and campaigning and stuff. And ultimately the goal is always to raise money for the kids. But anyways, like there's some like notoriety involved with that too. But for myself, I've always envisioned myself being, not always, like probably in the last like 3-4 years, I've envisioned myself being an endurance athlete, and like how do I make that a full-time career? And the book I'm reading right now is James Lawrence, The Iron Cowboy. He is famous for doing 50 Ironmans in 50 days in all 50 states. And then to top that,
fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me say that slower.
That's
50
fucking
Ironman triathlon, which is swim, bike, run.
I was going to say
distance marathons.
I was going to say, can you tell people what that is? Because I don't think people understand what an Ironman is. Like, because that's like, it's a whole different level of.
That's brutal. So
can't do fucking one.
I might be able to get one. But
Ironman, yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, like one Ironman in a lifetime is an achievement. So like an Ironman consists of, I think it's 2.4 mile swim. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
112 mile bike ride. And then you finish it off with a full distance marathon running.
Full distance.
26.3 miles, 26.4, whatever it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so every single day, this dude's out there, swim, bike, run for like 15 hours a day or something, whatever it is. But he did it in all 50 states. So he did like Hawaii, Alaska, and then like started in Washington and just drove a freaking camper around the whole country.
How did you get your rest in between?
Well, think about it. Like logistically, if you had to fly to Hawaii or in Alaska, that's like half it. Like you had to have gone back to back.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking insane.
Well, he also, he had a support. He had his wife, he had his kids, he had his two wingmen, and then this was 10 years ago. He actually, I think it was yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of that, actually.
Interesting.
I follow him on Instagram. Yeah, and so he followed that up with, in 2021, he did 100 Ironman triathlons in 100 consecutive days, and he did them all in Utah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did them all in the same
not
place.
Human.
But like,
literally.
Yeah, no, like, but he's done like all this genetic testing just to prove that he's a normal guy. He has like no superhuman ability. He's like just a dude, and it's like it's not all mental. Like it's definitely physical, but like at a certain point, it's mental, spiritual, and physical. It's all three.
Sure. What are you doing it for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, his whole not to like tell his whole life story, but basically his whole idea was like, I want to be a full-time endurance athlete, and he started breaking all these world records, and like, and one thing led to another, and he gets sponsorships and speaking engagements, and then he's like, I felt like I wasn't tough anymore, so he's like, I'm gonna go do 100, and then now like dude like competes in like all these other like biking competitions. Like he's still going, but like nothing quite to that extreme. But like in his book, he's like, I'm reading his book now, and as like a way to prep for what I'm about to endure, because I've read his first book, and the second one is even better. But he talks about how you're going to hit a point where you're just going to have to like mentally like fight through the pain, and how he like almost like disassociates from his body. And it's a really cool book. The book's called Iron Hope.
Cool.
For anyone that's interested. So James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, like he's awesome guy.
Yeah.
But it is very much going to be a mental battle as much as it is physical. Because I mean, I feel like I'm physically prepared as much as I'm going to be. And he even talks about the two. Like there's no way to prepare for 100 back-to-back triathlons, but you're going to do the best you can. And at a certain point, like you're going to get fit during the event. And so like, I'm really curious to see. Yeah, because like I've gone 15 miles in one go before, and then I'm like, okay, cool. I just have to do that twice a day for 3 days in a row. Like we're good. and because at a certain point, like everything just hurts. It's just gonna hurt. It's not gonna stop hurting. And then like I hit that point where it's like it's just sheer will and grit to just like get through it. But I'm also in the back of my head, I have like this mantra that like my pain and suffering is temporary, but the kids that we're fighting for, like their pain is never ending. And so like I kind of keep that real kind of playing in my head. It's like this isn't about me. Like the glory is to God and to like save the kids. And I know that like another thing that I've been like playing on repeat in my head is it's intentionally for the benefit of others. And knowing that going into this event, that like it's not about me, it's not about me becoming a full-time athlete. Like it's truly is. I don't want to lose sight of like the reason why this all started and how it all came to fruition. And
sure, but you can't beat yourself up if and I don't mean to interrupt you, but you can't beat yourself up to the point if you're doing a good thing and you became a full-time athlete and you're still doing it for the cause, as long as you don't, like you were about to say, don't lose sight of the prize, you can still, benefit from it, in your own personal way. And I don't mean that, like a shifty sort of way. Just like you can use it to maybe support your family if you're still have the right mindset, that you have your morals in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this is like internal conversations I have with myself all the time. I truly think about it too. It's like, at what point am I, is this prideful or not? But I feel like, from like a Christian perspective, like I think God blesses people who obey him, honestly. And so I've surrendered to like God's calling for many years now. And like I have the result of what my life is now is a direct reflection to like my surrender to like what he's asked me to do. Like my life now is like dramatically different from where I was 4 years ago. I didn't move up to Pennsylvania until like 3 years ago, actually.
Oh shit!
And so,
well, you're from Texas,
yeah.
right?
I got divorced and remarried. I got married to my wife now October last year. I lost everything, dude. So like, I mean, I was living at my parents' house like 4 years ago. So yeah, man. So I've had like a roller coaster of a ride to get to this point, but I just know that like whatever I'm here to like to defend and build God's kingdom, and so that's just like my hardwired like default setting all the time. And so if he calls me to do this thing, I'm going to do it. And if there's blessings at the end of it, awesome. If there's not, awesome. Like I don't even care about like the next step. Truly, it would be cool to be a full-time athlete and have sponsors and stuff.
Sure.
But
that's not your goal.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of more about like my belief system and what we're doing here too. So what are the kind of questions you got?
No, I actually want to circle back, if you don't mind, back to the calling, because I'm a God-fearing man myself, right? So I have never felt, and maybe I've not recognized it, because it depends on how you interpret it, but I don't believe that I've ever had a calling, if you will, and I want to know more about that. So you were fasting. Now, you said 3 days, if that was correct, and were you doing that for religious reasons? To start there.
Absolutely. I have never fasted with the purpose of spiritual enlightenment before. I've never fasted for more than a day. Like I've gone without eating, sure, but like I've never I'm going to starve myself for 3 days so that I can hear the voice of God better. I've never done that before. And every other Saturday we go meet up at one of our friends. They have another farm close by, and we have like a small men's ministry group. We talk about the Bible, talk about our lives, like how we can be better as individuals, how we can lead our community better, stuff like that. And so the guy who started that group, he's done fasting several times, and that was like conversation we had like around New Year's time, January, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a 3-day fast." Me and Jonathan, who's like my wingman on the ruck, he was one of the other guys. So we all three fasted together, and as I said, it was day 2, and it was like at the point where I was like ready. I was ready to give in. I was ready to go. I'm gonna go downstairs in the basement. I'm gonna hit some pull-ups and some push-ups. I'm not gonna destroy myself. I just want to go work out, just to pass the time, And that's this same day. This guy named Truitt, I think is his name. He broke the all-time world record for most pull-ups in 24 hours. He did 10,000 pull-ups in one day.
Bro, these
10,000 pull-ups
ridiculous.
in one day. And that was
such a lazy
day
piece of
that
shit.
I was like, yeah.
I see you drinking my beer.
Yeah, and I can barely do 10 pull-ups. So I'm gonna go do some pull-ups, and I just got the blood flowing, and it hit me like a train, dude. And I was like, this vision of me rucking on this trail. I recognized where I was on the trail, because I actually go to this trail pretty often. And all I knew in that moment was great suffering to help others. That's all I knew. I didn't know any of these other details in that moment, and it was like an overwhelming sensation of, it was so clear I couldn't deny it, and I knew right then and there I had to do it. Otherwise, I felt like this calling before, and you try to ignore it, and it's like you can't turn it off, and then eventually I don't know, I don't want to be superstitious. Eventually if you don't respond and give into it, I think maybe your life doesn't work out as great as you want it to. So I'm not saying God curses people. But, there's definitely less blessings in your life, right? So that's just kind of how I am. So anyways, that's kind of, I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you did. Basically, it was I was curious in kind of, I guess how it felt and how you interpreted it, because again, me, I feel like I've not necessarily had that calling, and if I did, I wasn't listening hard enough, and maybe it will, like you said, kind of a little bit repetitive. It'll come to you, and when
You're
sort of situation.
All the times you've almost died, you haven't seen God once or fucking nothing.
Wow, I mean,
this guy's almost died plenty of times. He's over here just I don't know God. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Maybe
what are you talking about? Dude?
We're speaking different languages. I don't know.
Well, so I don't know, maybe I can kind of expand on that a little bit. So basically, like, the vision of me doing this didn't go away after that. It wasn't like a one-time thing, and I was like, oh, that was cool. It was like, no, it was like very persistent every single day. And eventually I was like, I gotta tell my brothers like what I experienced. And it was in that moment that I was like, I felt like all this relief, but I was also like, shit, like now I have to do it.
It's on. Yeah.
I accepted the mission, and that was like step one. And so once I took that first step, then all the pieces just kind of started falling into place, and it was action. Like, prayer and like asking still requires action. I think a lot of people skip like that part. They're like, oh, I asked for all these things, my prayers didn't come true, God's not real. I was like, no, like he gave you the tools and the resources. You still have to like take action.
Help me help myself.
The sword and like
they do.
Yeah, exactly.
The phrase "God helps those that help themselves." I mean, it is true to some degree. Like, you have to, you can't just rely on God, and you have to actually make it happen. You can get the message, but like, you have to put in the work. There's no two ways around it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know. So maybe like next time, like you feel like called to do, it's going to be inconvenient. Like, that's kind of like the whole point. Like,
you're right. Yeah.
None of this is convenient.
No.
Like, training has been very inconvenient. I've missed out on family time to go do these things, and like I kind of told the whole family, hey guys, like this is what I got to do. And my wife has been absolutely incredible and like very very supportive along the way. And this is like another thing that like I've learned a lot from the Iron Cowboy, was like how he involved his family in his training and in the event too. And so it's not like, all right, guys, I'm gonna see you in 3 days. Like, hey, no, like we got a hotel. Like, pack the kids up. Y'all can go swim at the hotel for a little bit. Come ruck with me for a little bit. Because I mean, I'm not gonna have them out there for 16 hours a day, but they're gonna do like the final stretch with me at the end and kind of help like shoot video and stuff. And so like involve the family and stuff like this. But yeah, I mean, if you feel called to do something that's inconvenient, you have to go out of your way to help others or to, you know, raise money for something, or, you know, just even pray for somebody. It could be as simple as that. So, you ever feel called to like, hey, it's like something that you weren't like planning on thinking about, and it's like something that is like, it's like an intrusive thought.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, you know, and like just act on it. And, yeah, especially if it's persistent, it doesn't go away. That's a good sign that like you're being called to do something.
Interesting. Yeah, very cool. I appreciate the insight, man. Like I said, from another believer's standpoint, anyways, you know, people talk about the calling a lot, you know, and I just, maybe, again, I may have never interpreted it right, or maybe I've never answered, you know.
I think Ken and I need to go attend this ruck next year. It's really what I think.
Fuck, I'll be dead, dude. I mean,
we don't have to do, I you know, weight appropriate, you know, but
I'll catch them in the last couple miles.
I think I would like to do it, honestly.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I will tell you, Sean, that even though this is way above my pay grade, if you will, as far as my athletic ability.
Physical ability.
Yeah.
I would not be able to do it right now.
But it's still extremely motivational. And taking that energy, and if anybody out here is listening to this, you know, if you're having that motivational energy, you're not saying you have to go necessarily ruck, but apply it to something else in your life. You know, like, hey, man, Sean's doing this for the greater good. I mean, you can do anything and stop being so selfish and do something else for the greater good. It doesn't have to be this, but take this as a little bit of a sign, as motivation to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually been a few guys on Instagram that I've never met in person, and they've reached out and they're like, dude, I see what you're doing. And like, you know, I got off my ass for the first time in like however many years and went and did whatever it was. And I was like, bro, that's awesome.
That's
like,
amazing.
I feel so much gratitude just for being that resource for somebody. Cause I've been there before where like I took a lot of time out of the gym, or, you know, and wasn't taking care of myself as much. And then like you see someone getting it, and like the Iron Cowboy was that guy for me. Truly he was.
Yeah.
Even back in like 2018, whenever I first found him. Yeah, so like being able to inspire something like that's just like a bonus for all of us. You know,
sure.
That wasn't even the goal. But yeah, there's been a couple guys that reached out and said the same thing.
man, as the Lord says, iron sharpens iron, right?
Absolutely.
So you find something else that
fun.
motivates you, and you motivate someone else. And I mean, we're all humans, and all it takes is that little bit of you just get that spark from someone, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure if I thought about it, I could figure out what that. There's like some dudes on Instagram that like I've definitely been inspired from, truly, and like, you know, they kind of seem like ethereal. They're not really real, right? There's a person on your phone, but like, sometimes they become like tangible, real people in real life. But most of the time, it's just like kind of fleeting motivation. And I listen to Andy Frisella a lot. He's like the CEO of First Form, has a really, really popular podcast called Relay Up. It used to be like the MFC.
We don't plug other podcasts here, sir. No, I'm just kidding. I was just fucking with you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
So, shameless plug. But you asked me who like I get inspiration from, and so like he talks about how like motivation is like temporary, it's fleeting, right? Like it feels good in the moment, and then once it's gone, it's gone. So it's like building discipline on the back end. That's what like really propels you to keep moving forward when that motivation runs out. And so like that's something I've been working on. I mean, years. Like it's like a never-ending process. And I mean, there's plenty of days where it's like I don't want to go train. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go put on a 100-pound rock and go freaking climb a hill for 5 hours. You know, but having the mental fortitude and discipline to like keep going is that I mean, it's kind of crazy now you ask me that question. It's like God's like prepared me for this for like the last 5 years. Like this wasn't
right.
This wasn't something where I was like woke up one day like I'm gonna go carry 100 pounds for 100 miles. Like now, like I had to build a lot of stuff leading up to this, mentally, physically, like my home life, like our raising kids, like a lot of things had to fall into. Even my new job, I got a new job like earlier this year, like during all of this.
Damn, you got
like,
a lot of stuff going on.
My new schedule. Yeah, my new schedule allowed me to train for this. So like a lot of things had to happen before this was ever even like a mission. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, but like,
no, of course you did. You know, I don't know how people like you do it. It's inspiring because some days like I don't even want to brush my teeth or get a shower. I'm just like, yeah, fucking man, I'm lazy. But and all jokes set aside, like it's a different. It's all relative, right, to the person, because if finding motivation for something,
if brushing your teeth is the win for the day, go get that win. Is all I can say, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, all jokes set aside, everyone has their own level of pain tolerance, if you will, but and battling demons of motivation.
I don't know. That's to Sean's point. It's all discipline. Like,
yeah,
at the end of the day, like that's really all you can rely on is your discipline and your training. Like that's really.
I'm gonna train to brush my teeth.
Well, that if you do it every day, it's like it's the same thing. I don't know. Like
it's a joke. I brush my fucking teeth. I got Invisalign now. Dude, if I don't brush my teeth,
yeah, he's been starting to church his mouth up. He's
pissing me off, dude. It's terrible. They're very painful. Okay, nothing like carrying a 100-pound ruck for 100 miles, but they're very painful. But hey, listen, we are approaching that hour mark here. It's been honestly a fantastic time having you on.
I want the post interview.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I think we got to do.
Oh, absolutely. We should go to the man on the street and go over there and do it right after. But before we roll into any of that, let's make sure you tell people where they can donate, where they can read more about this, because this is, again, I feel like I'm going to go ruck right now. I won't, but I feel like I could. So let people know.
Yeah, man. So I'm almost exclusively on Instagram. I don't have the bandwidth to do any other platform. So on Instagram, my handle is The Ruckoning. So it's like The Reckoning, but with ruck. So TheRuckoning, The Ruckoning. And then the link in my bio has the donation page. Should be the first link in there. And I got like all my sponsors and other people in there. That's the best way to find the donation page. That you can't find it from the Lantern Rescue website. But anyway, so if people want to donate, that's the easiest way to get to the donation page. If someone wants to become a sponsor, since it's so late in like the campaign, the sponsor tiers can be like negotiated. So like there's a whole lot of stuff that comes in like with like sponsorship stuff. But if someone wants to be an actual sponsor of the Ruck, if you have gear, or I pretty well got all my stuff ironed out at this point. But there's different ways you can help. Some people are doing a pledge, so we have a pledge option on the donation page where you can pledge $1, $2 per mile, and that's like it's like a fun way for me to stay motivated. Like, I guess motivated.
Sure, yeah,
yeah. Like whenever I get for every mile, I'm bringing in more money, and so I did that on purpose. One, to like push that moment where I'm like really hurting, Oh
yeah.
But it also kind of makes it cool for people too. So like there's a text group, so people will get like notifications. I use a trail app that kind of tracks all my stuff, and so whenever I start on Friday, there's going to be a link where people can actually watch me go from like point A all the way to the end, 100 miles. So that's one way you can follow along during the Ruck itself. We're going to keep donations open for probably about a month afterwards, just because I set the goal really, really high. I set it at $100,000, and like I knew that even if I felt if I never even reached that goal, great, we still raise money, So right now we're nowhere close to reaching that goal, but I wanted, since the campaign was so short leading up to this, and the event itself is not that long, we're going to keep it open for probably about a month and use footage from the Ruck itself to kind of help with promotion. So that's the best way to get a hold of me is Instagram, and that's where you find all the cool stuff.
Very cool. And one last time, so everybody knows, we are releasing this episode today. Normally we have a couple bank episodes we're skipping. We let people know before we called you in, Sean, that we're skipping around a little bit.
Well, we have to get this out there before you.
Yeah, we want to make sure we release it. So we're doing a little heavy post work after this to make sure it's out. And you said it is this Friday, which is what's the date?
August 1st. So August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Perfect. My anniversary. My 10-year, baby.
Sheesh.
But either way, so August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, because he's not finishing in one day. Is that what you're claiming, right? No, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, it's literally impossible. But August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
That'd be brutal.
Yeah. Hey, did I miss any other places people can go and see you donate or research your cause?
No, that's the best place to go from there. LanternRescue.org is the official website of Lantern Rescue. Let me double check that .org real quick.
Sure.
Pretty sure that's what it is, but that's where you can get in contact with, LanternRescue.org. Lantern, like, the light that you hold. So that's the best way to get a hold of them. They also have an Instagram page. I think it's just Lantern Rescue on Instagram. I did start a YouTube, but I haven't really put a lot of effort into that yet. So I might be growing that more as we progress here. Just kind of tap into like other media markets, but I can't do TikTok and all that.
Bro, I will say some of the videos of yours I like the most are when you're hiking or like, on the trail and just talking. Like those are some of the best. Like I hope you do a couple of those throughout the Ruck.
Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate the feedback because I never know, like, I'm like one of those guys who like, I do social media because it's a tool. I don't actually enjoy it. Like if I could never use it again, I'd be completely happy.
Oh yeah.
But I like to connect with people and I like to use it for, something of value, something of purpose. But I still have like my burner account for the fun stuff.
Some good group chats.
For
out
sure.
there.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, we appreciate it, Sean. It was honestly a blast having you on, and I think this is a big deal. Like this is a lot bigger than even maybe we're making it right now. But you're doing something extraordinary. So I wish you the best for your good health through it. I'll be praying for you. Honestly, like this is a big deal. So hopefully we can talk to you soon. And shit, man. Maybe Neil will see you at the next one. I don't know if I can get my body there.
No, I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna force him. I'm gonna kidnap him.
Cool, man. Well, hey, even if you can't do the whole thing, man, just do something.
That's what I'm saying.
Find your own hard.
That's what I'm saying. I think you could do a couple miles.
Maybe.
You know, I think you'd be fine.
Maybe we'll see. But all right, buddy. Hey, have a good evening, and give your family our best.
All right, cool, man. You want me to stay on the line, or you gonna call me back?
We'll talk to you
call
here
you
after
back.
the show.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for your time, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, no problem, Sean.
We'll
We'll
talk
see
to you
ya.
soon. See ya. Damn, dude. What the? Like, I feel fucking motivated right now, bro.
Bro, I the toll, like, I think you could probably do it with
I think 50 pounds,
pack.
even 50 pounds.
No, that's going to destroy your body. Dude, I don't think you understand the physical toll. Like I said.
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
To his,
100 miles, not doing 100 miles with.
To his
I can do 100
point.
miles with zero. Rocking.
that's what I was going to say. I think maybe you might be with 0 pounds. Maybe you could make it.
Well, what
I mean,
about my?
same with me. Like,
What about my 10-pound hog?
you have to cut that off.
Oh,
No, but like I don't know. It's just I think we got to go next year.
he's got. Listen, I will say that going. I would like to go regardless, whether that is participating.
Well, even if we're supporting.
Support. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I don't know, man. We'll talk about that.
We do post interview
That's pretty
on
sweet.
the trail.
Yeah, man
It'd
on
be
the
cool.
street.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool.
He's gonna be so sweaty and be like, "I'm not fucking talking to you guys.
Be
Get
like,
out
"Get
of my
the-"
face, dude. I'm gonna hug my family." And he's gonna be all big and famous from all this shit. Very novel idea. He's gonna get these fucking
Well, it's tiny twinks. out
Yins
here.
boys
These tiny
out of
twinks
the
out
way.
of here.
Yeah. Oh well. Either way, folks. Like I said, we'll help plug it again there too. This event is Ruck and Rescue, and it is this Friday. If you're willing to pledge or donate,
Oh, yeah.
make sure you go to his Instagram, which is
At the Reckoning.
at the Reckoning. We'll post it too in the
description.
in the description
Yeah.
where we go, just so people can go. We're hoping to get. I want to see him get that 100K. This is a good cause. This is a big deal. So
I mean, I know you got big pockets over there.
I know you got big pockets. You got them Jenko jeans
Got
on,
them
baby.
big pockets on those jorts.
You got them Jenko jeans. You got them
No,
flush.
They're getting shorter and shorter by the minute.
Not ours. Yeah, well, I mean, ours are, but not the Jenkos. They get longer.
Probably.
They grow. The growing denim. Yeah, don't forget about our jorts too, more importantly.
Yeah, we'll I mean,
They're getting shorter.
They are getting shorter. They're actually, I think mine are almost ideal. But anyways, YINZBOYZ.com, the real YINZBOYZ@gmail.com. The hotline. Ken knows it.
Yes, I think it's 412-613-1116.
Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Like I said, check Sean out at The Reckoning on Instagram.
Don't forget,
And donate.
pull out your purses and pick through them to throw a couple shekels his way.
Seriously.
You should.
It's for a good cause.
It really is. See you, folks, next week. We have dropped 2 episodes.
Yeah, we got to drop this
Very
one.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. See you.
See you guys.
Should've pulled out.